Speaking of coaching, the Cleveland Cavaliers have let go of JB Bickerstaff, and I say this all the time. I am not a big blame the coach guy, but this one you kind of felt coming. There was the Athletic piece. The second the clock hit zero, I think it was Ryan Russillo who was joking about it, saying that like they didn't even bother updating Mobley's stats for Game 5. Because it was just like, no, we're just going to throw this out there. It's done. You kind of knew at that point that this thing was going to be gone. And look, like this is a good roster, right? With Allen, with Garland, with Mobley, and with Mitchell. This is a very talented top four. It never really felt like Bickerstaff had a real feel for this team and really knew how to fully unlock what they had there. Once anyone got hurt, it was like, okay, now we know what to do. And they were able to get it rolling. But with the four, he didn't really have it figured out. And I didn't like how they handled the end of the season, kind of tanking to get Orlando in the first round and then not showing up for a couple of games against Orlando, forcing that series to go 7. If you avoid that, like maybe it happens against the Knicks in the second round anyway, but you at least avoid the Celtics until the conference finals, and then maybe you're in this spot right now and honestly probably saving your job. But it just, I don't think he's a bad coach, but I don't think he's a great coach either, and I think this team needs a coach that will be able to get them over the hump. But this is the start of a really interesting offseason with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, I think you have to move Mitchell. It's very obvious that you can't really do Garland and Mitchell. I think Zach Lowe said on his podcast today that he has it at about like 5 or 10% that those guys are on the same team. And if you get rid of Garland, there's a chance you come out of this with nothing. And now you'll get a lot. Like Garland to San Antonio fits perfectly. There are so many teams that could use, like Garland, I don't know how the trade would work because Phoenix doesn't have anything, but Garland is the perfect fit for the Phoenix Suns or for San Antonio. I even think he'd be good with the Lakers. Like he is a talented basketball player. He'd be good anywhere. But so you're going to get something in return for him, but I simply don't trust signing Mitchell to an extension and then believing that he's going to want to stay in Cleveland for 4 years. I don't trust that. And so to me, you have to move Mitchell, build around Garland, and go with it that way, because otherwise you risk losing both, and you're kind of back to square one. At least with Garland and Mobley, you have a core now that is set. And look, like Allen played well when he was healthy, and there were some questions of his toughness, but I have always liked this player. The two big thing hasn't really worked the way that they want it to. Mobley, this is a big year for him coming up. He needs to develop, I think, into the guy that a lot of people thought he was going to be after his rookie season. That has kind of flatlined a little bit. He needs to step this up now. If he can specifically work on the outside shot a little bit, then you have something there offensively where it's not so bogged down in the middle. If he can kind of expand that range and spread the floor a little bit, defensively, these guys could lock things down. But this is an interesting offseason for Cleveland because, like, if Mobley isn't going to expand that game, he's still quite good, but you have to get rid of Allen then. And again, building around Mobley and Garland isn't the worst place to be. It does feel like maybe this year is a step back for Cleveland to take a step forward, but they aren't super far away from being a dangerous team in the NBA's Eastern Conference.